Guys, this is Ryan Morris with Legal Shield, and the chances are that the person who got you to watch this video just started working from home online with our company. And, to make their job a little bit easier, I kind of decided to make this video just to kind of explain a little bit about the company and just the two services that we promote and a little bit about the Member Perks Discount Program, just because they're brand new. They don't exactly know it like the back of their hand just yet. So I'm just here to kind of bridge that gap and make things easier on them and a little bit easier on you as well, so that you get a proper understanding of what exactly is going on. So first, just a quick little background of the company. Legal Shield's been around for 45 years. You know, they're accredited by the Better Business Bureau, A+ rating, been in Success from Home magazine, as you can see right here. Plenty of credibility all across the line as the company. Incredible place to work for, rated top 20 places to work for by Forbes, and I could go on. But honestly, I don't want to take up too much of your time here. I just want to make sure that you have an understanding of the two services that we're promoting, and then a little bit about the Member Perks Discount Program as well, so that you can start saving with that program on your monthly bills, on a couple of your day-to-day purchases, and at over 400 different locations all around the world. And also, so that you can protect your family with one or both of our services. So with that being said, just give me one quick second here, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see for yourself right here. So the first service that we promote is called Legal Shield. It's got 6 buttons on the app, as you can see right here. This is a mobile app, by the way, available in the App Store for Apple and Android. So the first button, is called Call Your Law Firm. And I just want you guys to know I've absolutely used and abused this service for the past 4 or 5 months that I've had it, as of right now, as you're watching this video. Button number 1 is Call Your Law Firm. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, normal business hours of the firms that we are partnered with. By the way, we're partnered with over 7,000 attorneys and law firms all across all 50 states in the United States. And as of right now, 4 provinces in Canada. We will be in all of the provinces by the end of 2017. So, an incredible network of attorneys. And when you call, you get unlimited personal legal advice in any category of law. Unlimited number of letters and calls made on your behalf. I'll give you a story about that in just a second. Contracts and documents reviewed, whether you're, about to lease a house or lease a car or buy a house, or any combination of the two. You can get that reviewed, and you definitely shouldn't sign anything before you get it reviewed. Trust me. IRS audit assistance. So we just kind of passed that time of the year as the time of this video right now. If you're ever audited by the IRS, we'll actually send in a tax attorney with you and for you to go through the audit. Civil trial defense, if you're ever sued for anything that isn't criminally related, you get up to 60 hours per year prepaid in court for an attorney to represent you. Okay, and those hours roll over as well. So they roll over for up to 5 years. So year 1, you don't use any. Those 60 hours roll over to year 2, which becomes now 120 hours, which go all the way up to year 5 at 300 hours. Okay, family and domestic services. You got to wait 90 days to use these guys. So if you're thinking about a divorce, they want you to think about it. I'm just kidding. But actually, so uncontested divorce, separation, adoption, and name change are all very, very expensive things to get done. And understand that everything that I've talked about so far is free of charge as long as you're a member of this service. And everything that isn't covered, so pre-existing conditions, criminally related activity, you get it at a 25% preferred member discount. So what I want you guys to know is I actually had a very, very good story. Back in October, I was hospitalized overnight. The bill was like $7,500. My health insurance covered the entire thing, no big deal. And about a month later, I get a collection notice from that hospital stating that I owed over $1,600 in unpaid medical expenses. So I called them up. I even had a transaction number and everything for my receipt that I got while I was there at the hospital for my stay. They told me that because of their policy, there was nothing they could do about my account. So what I told them was that, well, my policy is not to be overcharged for things that I shouldn't have to pay for that already have been covered. So I went ahead and called Legal Shield, told them the situation. They fired off a letter on my behalf to the hospital, and it stated some law that was created back in the day. It was like the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And so I was like, what? And it kind of scared me reading the letter. And so fired off the letter, didn't hear from anybody for about 2 weeks. And so I was kind of like, no news is good news. And sure enough, I get a letter in the mail from the hospital that I stayed at. And they not only dropped the $1,600 charge, but they actually refunded me my $200 copay. And I was like, wait, what? And so I checked my credit card statement, and sure enough, the $200 had been refunded about a week before the letter had, I received the letter. And I was like, wow, That's awesome. So that was an incredible experience for me. Button number 2 is called snap speeding tickets. I've also had an experience with this. So everybody either speeds or has gotten a speeding ticket. That's just the way it is. In traffic court, you know, I think it's fair to say it's kind of a joke the way it operates. So what happens when you get a speeding ticket is you simply take a picture of the ticket, upload the court date, and also submit a picture of your license. And an attorney will represent you no matter where you got the ticket, whether you're in California and you live in South Carolina, or whether you're in South Carolina and you live in California. Doesn't really matter. They will cover you in the county that you got the ticket in, right? Remember how I said we've got, you know, over 7,000 attorneys in law firms that we're networked and partnered with all around the country and Canada. So you get a speeding ticket anywhere in the country and you have free representation in court, right, to go fight your ticket for you. And I read a statistic where it was like over 80% of tickets that are fought for by an attorney either get dropped or reduced. So representation in traffic court is absolutely key. And what's really cool is that I actually had a ticket in Charleston, South Carolina. I was going 5 miles over the limit. It was crazy that I got a speeding ticket for it. And I actually had an attorney represent me in Charleston while I was in Oklahoma at a red carpet photo shoot for the company, meeting the CEO and all the executives, and it was an incredible time. So I didn't have to pay anything, right? They got the ticket completely thrown out of court. Next button is prepare your will. So obviously getting a will done is very expensive. It's anywhere on average between $900 to $1,900, depending on where you live in the country and the quality of the attorney that's getting your will prepared for you. So will, living will, healthcare power of attorney, all of that is included in the app. And not only do you not have to go and sit down with an attorney and talk about what happens when you die for 3 to 4 hours, like nobody wants to do that. You can actually just submit the questionnaire through the app and it'll all be handled for you. They'll actually mail you a copy of it so that you can just lock it away in your safe, not even worry about it. And they'll call you actually annually and say, hey, it's time to update your will. Would you like to add or subtract anything? Has your nephew Johnny been bad this year? I'm just kidding. But the next button, I'm going to skip over. It's simply just contact member services. So we like to say, if you have a positive experience with us, tell everybody else about it. If you don't have a positive one, tell us about it so that we can do something about it. Okay, so member perks. This is one of my favorite buttons. It's probably everybody's favorite button. So we get discounts at over 400 different companies: Advance Auto Parts, AMC Theaters, Apple products, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, all of these companies that you see right here, plus many, many more. So if you're a frequent traveler, we get incredible discounts with hotels, incredible discounts with flights, incredible discounts at a lot of different gyms, as you can see here. And it just kind of makes it easier to offset the cost of actually having the membership, which I'll go over in just a minute. Last button here is emergency legal access. Parents, this should definitely make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the family plan on this. Okay, if you have, you know, children that go to school, children that go to college, anybody else, right? Yeah, let's be real. A lot of people do really stupid things and are at the wrong place at the wrong time at night, you know, even though they might be completely innocent. So wouldn't it be nice to be able to just call up an attorney and have them speak to an officer if you're being arrested or detained, right? To kind of speak on your behalf so that you know your rights. Or you know, even if, you know, you're a parent and you have kids that are 15, 16, 17 years old and they're driving, they get into an automobile accident, you don't want them to incriminate themselves by saying something incorrect, and now all of a sudden your insurance isn't covering it and it's a mess, right? Wouldn't it be nice if they could just call an attorney and have the attorney advise them on what exactly to say and do in that particular situation? Okay, ton of different applications for that last button there, one of the most important. And it's very easy to say, you know, that injustice, in other words, you know, not being able to access our rights is morally one of the worst crimes going on in America today, especially when we live in such a state of fear and pandemonium going on with the election and everything else. But identity theft is by far the most common crime going on in America. #1 reported crime to the FTC for the last 16 years in a row. So we have an app called ID Shield to deal with that. Most people kind of get it a little bit confused on what identity theft is. You know, most people that take a look at ID Shield say, oh, well, my bank covers my bank account. I don't need ID Shield. Okay, well, if you're ever pulled over by an officer and they say there's a warrant out for your arrest because you got a speeding ticket you didn't pay for in Tennessee, and you tell the officer, I've never been to Tennessee before. Obviously, it's identity theft, but good luck telling the officer, hey, 1 second, let me just pull out my debit card from my Bank of America identity theft protection system, and I'm going to call them up and tell them that it wasn't me. Let me know how that goes. Okay, so credit fraud, and I don't need to be smart with you guys, but credit fraud is only really about 15% of identity theft. Okay, the other 85% is Social Security fraud, people swiping your tax returns, driver's license fraud, like I just talked about, medical fraud, people getting surgeries done in your name. Like, that's crazy. People will literally get a surgery done in your name with your medical ID and your identity, and you're left with the bill. And you go to the doctor's office and you lift up your shirt and you're like, Doc, I didn't get a new kidney. What do you mean? And he's like, well, is this your social? Is this your medical ID? Congrats, you have a new kidney, right? What are you going to do about that? Okay, criminal and character fraud, I won't go into too much, and tax return fraud, like I just said. So ID Shield monitors your credit score, your social security number, your passport, your driver's license, all of the stuff that you see on the screen right here. They also do social media monitoring. So parents, if you're a little weary about your children having social media accounts, understand that with the family plan, all of your children, which I'll discuss here in just a second, I'll go over the details of that, are covered under this plan. And Kroll, the company that we are partnered with, who also does black market website surveillance, which is where people go to buy and sell your information online. As you can see in your top right screen here, Kroll, I encourage you to look them up, is known around the world to be the #1 comprehensive restoration and risk management firm on planet Earth, okay? They're the ones who found bin Laden. They do the background checks for the CIA and the FBI, the Department of Defense. Incredible, incredible company. And they actually approached Legal Shield quite a while back because they had a consumer product for identity theft protection, and they found that the majority of identity theft cases required legal action. So they approached Legal Shield and asked us to partner with them and offer this product as a side product to what they were doing. So definitely an honor to have Kroll approach Legal Shield and do that. So what they will do is whatever it takes, as long as it takes to clear your records for life, and they back that with a $5 million service guarantee. So each and every time your identity is compromised, they'll spend up to $5 million to go and restore it in full. Okay, so who's covered on the two plans? Okay, you, spouse, never married, dependent children, under 26 living at home, as well as full-time college students are covered on family plans as well. Dependents that are under 18, who the members of the legal guardian of, are covered on the same plan, along with physically or mentally disabled children living at home. Okay, so understand that not only do you have access to a law firm in every single state, okay, and an attorney in every single county of every single state and 4 provinces of Canada, but you also have access to a licensed private investigator that's going to monitor all of your information, including your social media, at the palm, you know, at the touch of a button. You got to understand the power behind that, okay? So let me ask you before, you know, I tell you what it is first, what's the value of having that? What's the value of knowing that your family is protected, okay, on these two realms? Okay, it's very safe to say, you know, over the past couple thousand years, okay, you know, whoever has the deepest pockets is always winning in court, all right? Everybody knows that. But our mission is to simply just level the playing field and allow families to have equal representation in court. So for an entire family plan for both services, okay, it's $39.90 a month, right? We've got subscriptions to Netflix, YouTube, Redbox, you know, not Redbox, but, you know, all these different services that we're paying for every month, okay? So if we're going to spend $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 and hundreds of dollars on cable bills every single month, it's kind of reckless to not protect your family for just $39.90 a month, or just yourself for $27.90 a month. And you can see the individual pricing of plans there as well. $19.95 for Legal Shield for a family, or $19.95 for ID Shield for a family, as well as $17.95 per month for Legal Shield for yourself, or just $9.95 a month for ID Shield for yourself, with a one-time $10 enrollment fee for the Legal Shield plans. Okay, and then also understand that with the Member Perks discount program, it's quite easy to save more than you're spending on the plan every single month. So I'm going to go ahead and exit this little screen share here. And I just want to come on and say thank you for your time. You know, thank you for taking a look at the information on what the service has to offer. Apologize, my phone's ringing there. And thank you again, you know, for taking the time. I encourage you to pick up one or both of the services. Obviously, you know, not only are you going to be protecting your family, not only are you going to be, you know, having access to the Perks program, but you're going to be helping out the person who got you to watch this video. You know, they're trying to build up their customer base. They're trying to build a business for themselves so they can better their situation. And we're simply doing that by sharing a service that we truly value and we know and believe will make a difference in your life. So thank you again. If you have any questions, get back to the person who showed you this video, and we'll be talking soon.